Blood for the blood, guys. Goals for the throne of corn. Hey, everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. Once again, it's time for a bicep day. Kind of as I've looked at my training, something I said earlier, I probably should start treating arms a little bit more like I've done legs to build my massive legs, and that means keep the volume a little more moderate, do really serious pump work at the end. But really, I've been doing a lot of rep work, higher rep work, strict controlled for biceps, and quite frankly, I still feel that it's not getting everything that I want. So I'm like, look, let's just work on going with heavy weights, progressive overload, but still focus on the full range of motion and trying to get pretty strict. So like when I go with heavier curls like that, that's really only 10 or in some cases 20 pounds heavier than my high rep sets, right? I literally do super strict sets of 12 with, 20 pounds lighter. So when I go up to that, I can't even do the first rep strict. Notice that first rep, I have to cheat just a little, then it gets really strict. And that's something I've noticed on those. But those curls hurt. I also decided, let's do a little bit of heavy tricep work. I just want to kind of see where my strength is on this. And I didn't go all out. I didn't do a bunch of sets of triceps. I just did 2 sets. I don't want it to affect my benching, but it's also telling me, same thing for the tricep work. On these long range of motion movements like this, I should probably be going pretty heavy, and I should be with a little bit more moderate reps, because I feel like, again, let's just hammer the triceps with some serious tension, some serious weight, and ultimately I can just do band work if I want to get good pumps at the end, just like I do with biceps. So again, the same thing. I think on my chest and tricep day we're going to do that. Of course, we do pullovers. The pullovers are adding plenty of volume, and I tend to do that on both back and bicep days, and that does hit the long head. But notice with the curls, I can't do that first rep strict. But then the second rep, notice how much stricter it is. I've noticed that it's really interesting to me with these curls. And that's something that it's just consistent through all the sets. So it's just an interesting observation. But with the curls, I'm like, well, let's just try to go heavy, but let's go through a full range of motion. In other words, let's lock it. Let's bring it up to the face while keeping tension with the wrist cocked back. Try to control those eccentric reps, right? And it hurt like hell. Dropping the reps down like that, I don't get the same pump. But in terms of just feeling like a stabbing deep contraction, definitely felt that. But again, I can get the pump work, which I got off the bands, gives me the pump. So again, the same concept I take with legs and back and some of this other stuff I've done should probably apply it a little more to my arms, right? I need a nice heavy movement. I really need to be putting some real tension on the biceps. And even if that means the reps drop a little, we do that. But it's actually, again, noting that's pretty uncomfortable, that heavier weight. These extensions, I got around 7. This is 110 pounds. I got 7. So I think I may try to work with this weight at the end of my benching sessions, right? And if I need volume for them, and I didn't want to do a bunch today, I just wanted to assess it and try to see, if how much different it feels when I try to go heavier. But that exercise is easy on the elbow. So again, I think after all my pressing, I can probably do those extensions and then just band it up if I need to for the pump work. We can always band it up, or I can even do a little bit of incline work. But again, the idea here, get in and just hit some tension on it, right? Get some real tension on there. So with the curls, this last set, the same thing, this last rep, I knew I didn't have another rep, so I forced it up. It was a grind. I'm like, let me control it, just lower it under as much control as I can, and then that's failure, right? Because I struggled with that last rep, and I'm like, let's just fight the eccentric. We get to the bottom, we're done. Again, I feel like I need a little more intensity for the biceps. We don't need crazy volume. We just need quality. And like I said, I can pump them up at the end with the bands if I want to get that extra fatigue. So the same thing with these alternating curls. I went up from 28s to 38s, put another pair of 5s on each one. Again, 8 to 9 reps was really hard, but the same thing. Try to control, get that squeeze at the top. Try to get a little control on the way down. Again, hurt like hell. Hurt like hell. My biceps were hurting during all of this, and that's a good thing. Right? That's a good thing. My quads hurt when I do heavy squats. Right? My lats hurt like that when I do even 5s or 6s on pull-ups. So those muscles are massive. My quads are big, my lats are big. So let's just train arms the same way I train these other dominant muscles, and I think we need more of that. They're going to get a little more volume. So here's the idea. Let's just train biceps twice a week, just as hard as I train my legs or my lats. Because again, I like the idea of the 2 bicep days. I've been doing that a while. But I also have to look at, am I getting the most out of it, or am I just pumping for no reason? Like, I think we need some tension, more and more tension. And it's not really different. It's doing the same exercises, right? I'm still focusing on my basics. But get in and just hammer them. Get in and hammer them. And then we finished up with 3 sets of band curls to failure, right? Which ended up being higher reps than I get sometimes on them, because I'm just like, let me just push them. So I felt like the reps were all like close to 30 with the same bands I normally use. But again, here's the idea. Let's just get some weight on the biceps. So we did 6s on the barbell curls. These were around 8 to 9. This is a bit heavier than I normally do. But again, we want to really load them up, just like my pull-ups. I'm doing 5s on pull-ups. I'll do 12s on the other back work. Okay? But again, has this worked for a lot of my other muscles? Yeah. So I need to start thinking of my arms in the same way, other than we prioritize them by saying, hey, let's do biceps twice. Let's do them at the end of back, give them at least some work, and then let's have a separate day where we come in and just hammer them out like this. Okay. And I think it works well. I don't know that I'm going to be able to do that heavy barbell curls though on the back day. I can probably still do the dumbbells. Then we'll do some bands. The bands, of course, this is where we get the pump. It's like, okay, we've done all those other movements. Now let's get in and let's just pump the hell out of them. But they were hurting. My biceps hurt after all that other work. So to even do these, then we hit this pump. Feels like a blowtorch hitting them now because of the burn. Right? So again, the same thing, trying to get that squeeze, get that quality contraction, make it hurt. And that was my goal on this. I wanted on these, because it's going to be more peak contraction, the band jerks down. I squeezed at the top. I wanted, especially once we got to around rep 19 or 20, everything past that, I wanted to squeeze so hard that it hurt. I wanted it to be painful. And that's the idea. I'm going to have to treat this. This is how I train my legs. Let's just do biceps the same way from here on. We don't even worry about, hey, let's just chase all this volume now. Let's get some quality heavy work, make it hurt like hell, and then we'll pump them out until they just burn and hurt on top of it, and focus on those quality contractions there. And overall, I feel like it's worked pretty well today. I feel like I got a super intense bicep session, keeping in mind this is the second one of the week. So again, did this and did my fasted cardio. Overall, pretty happy with it. I feel like I'm looking pretty jacked while doing these too. The shoulders are really starting to fill out. So I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys and gals next time.